As always, coding with Python will make your life much easier. Now to use component object model in Python, you just need a Python for Windows or Pywin library. Since we already installed this library while creating our previous keylogger, I'm gonna skip this part for now. If you did a review to our previous HTTP reverse shell as I recommended, then understanding this section should be a piece of cake for you, as the code should look pretty similar to our previous HTTP reverse shell. Now let's jump to the coding part, and I'm gonna open the script here. Okay, so this is the link again to install the Pywin in case you skipped the keylogger video. Okay, let's move forward. So here we start by creating an Internet Explorer object instance, and we set the visible option to 0, which means that the Internet Explorer will run in the background. Note that if we set the value to 1, then the Internet Explorer window will show up to the target desktop, and this is something we don't want. Now these post parameter, we'll deal with them a little bit later, so let's skip them for now. Okay, so moving on. Next we start by going into an infinite loop and navigate to our Kali IP address. Next we will wait for the browser to finish loading. If the browser didn't load the page entirely, we will sleep for 1 second here. Note that when the browser finishes loading, the ready state will have a value of 4 and the second loop will be terminated. Next, we retrieve the HTML page into a variable called command. Then we convert the HTML entities into Unicode. Finally, we encode the command into ASCII string and ignore any exception which may occur while doing so. Now the final result will be the command that we should execute, and finally we will print it out. Now as we made in our previous shells, if we got a terminate command from the Kali machine, we will quit the Internet Explorer instance and break the loop. Now, if the command was not terminate, then we inject the command into a shell and store the result in a variable called data. Now, in order to submit or post the data using COM technique, it requires to buffer the data first. So we used a built-in Python buffer function to do so. Then at the end, we post the command execution result along with the post parameter which we defined earlier. Frankly speaking, I have never used the flags or the target frame, so I set them to their default values. And the main parameter here is the DURL, which defines the destination URL that we wish to submit the data for. Okay, so to recap really quick, let me first clear the screen here. And I will do a little organization for the window. Okay, so to recap, we navigate to the attacker IP, then we will wait until the browser loads the page. Then we get the command, convert it to Unicode, then to ASCII. After executing the command, we post back the result. Alright, right now let's jump to the attacker side a little bit. And here on the right side, we had the exact HTTP web server that we used earlier in our HTTP reverse shell. So let me run the script here. And I will start the script on the target side. Notice once I do so, the Internet Explorer will start in the background, as we can see from the Windows Task Manager here. And also, as you can see, it's totally invisible to the user. So the IE is running, but as we can see, the GUI is not showing up here. Okay. And fair enough, we got our shell here. So let me do an ipconfig, and we got an exception for a broken pipe. Sometimes this happens, so let's try again. And on the left side you can see we got the command ipconfig normally. Okay, so let's go for directories and current working directory, or CD. Let's go for who am I, r-a, and finally let's do a quick ping. So I will do 10.10.10.100. And fair enough, we got our shell fully functional here. Okay, great. So one more time, let me just explain what just happened here. Okay, so our Python script has initiated an Internet Explorer process in the background, and we have used the Internet Explorer to navigate to our command and control server on the Kali side. Then we transfer the data using get and post back and forth between both of them. Now at the end, note that it's not only limited to a shell. You can also transfer files and submit data using COM protocol. I will leave it to you to discover the other features that you can do with a COM protocol. Thank you very much for watching.